Hi everybody, Deacon Bil Carter from Sacred Heart Parish in La Plata, Maryland. Back again today at the Carmelite Monastery, the very new chapel, a beautiful new chapel, in the very old Carmelite Monastery of Port Tobacco. What I want to talk about today is something that a lot of us clergy get a lot of questions about, or we're asked about sometimes, and it's such a fundamental part of the prayer life of the church, and it's the Liturgy of the Hours. And it's something that I think now is probably becoming a lot more popular among the laity, which is a great thing, but it probably bears some explaining. The Liturgy of the Hours, first of all, it doesn't take hours to do. It just takes a few minutes to do, but it's called that because it's fixed at certain hours during the day. There's, generally speaking, there's morning prayer, which early morning. There's a midday prayer sometime, and there's an evening prayer around 6 o'clock, and then before bed there's a night prayer. And then in addition to those four, there's one more called the Office of Readings, which is done pretty much any time of the day the person has the convenient time to do. But for a lot of folks, they usually stick to just the morning and the evening to set those rhythms. Now, where does this come from? It goes back not only to the beginning of the church, but actually before that. The Jews were praying at fixed times during the day for a long time. They pray the Shema prayer. Shema literally means to listen. Shema Yisrael, listen Israel. It's from Deuteronomy 6. And what it means is the Lord is our God, the Lord alone is the prayer they pray, to remind themselves that they are devoted to the one God and to nothing else. But they also have another series of prayers they pray as well at fixed times. As the church grew, they took this model that they inherited from the Jews and added in their own devotions to Jesus Christ, and they made it their own. But the idea to do that was very much borrowed from the Jews. As the centuries went on, by the time Saint Benedict revitalizes all of Europe with his monastic system and the system of all the monasteries throughout Europe, this became much more of a rigid practice, because their day was guided by periods of work and prayer. Ora et labora, work and prayer. They go back and forth. So when they're on a schedule like that, it made sense to fix the prayer to particular times of the day. And it became just a staple of monastic life. Moving on even further to the Middle Ages, it now has come out of the monasteries. It's gone to the diocesan priesthood, where it becomes necessary for them to do it as well. Now we've got an entire church joining in on the same series of prayers. They become more regulated. They start evolving. Things are changing about them. And it became really a mixture of two things, a series of readings and something called the Psalter. The Psalter is a book of a 4-week cycle of all the Psalms that are prayed. Put together, that sort of became the Liturgy of the Hours. All clergy today are required to, by our ordination, required to pray the Liturgy of the Hours, as are consecrated religious. The nuns here in Port Tobacco pray the Liturgy of the Hours together in community every single day. But it's also a great way for us to join into this universal life of the church by doing it ourselves. Now, personally, I wouldn't recommend starting off with all 5 prayers as part of your prayer life, but starting off in the morning with the morning prayer, and in the evening, maybe when you come home from work or before dinner, you do the evening prayer. That's a great way to put bookends on your day, if you will, prayerful bookends on the day. And also remember, when we pray them, sometimes those prayers we read in the Liturgy of the Hours can really hit home and really feel very personal, and sometimes they can feel completely foreign to us. And it's good to remind ourselves what happens, that it's not just our own personal prayer that we have with God, and we should have those prayers as well, absolutely. We're all individuals with an individual relationship with God, and we should pray our wishes, our hopes, our thanks, our frustrations, all those things we should pray in our relationship with God. But the Liturgy of the Hours is not that. The Liturgy of the Hours is us being part of the larger body of the church. And on behalf of our place in the church, we are praying with the church to God. So we're all praying the same way every day. Now, you may have seen books like this, a priest or a seminarian or a deacon walk around with a book like this with the ribbons coming out of the bottom. This is called a breviary. It's part of a 4-part series that the A person will change throughout the liturgical season. It can be a little complicated, a little daunting to get started with this because you're flipping back and forth a lot. In addition to this, you probably need one of these every year and another one of these every year, telling you what pages to be on, what feast days there are, what options to pick, and it can be a little daunting to do that. After a while, it does get easier, but it can be a little bit complicated. What a lot of people do to get started is download the app. There's an app you can download, and it doesn't have any flipping back and forth. You go straight through, and every day it'll tell you exactly which options to pick. And for those who like paper books, same thing exists in paper books. This is one that comes out every month, and again, you just keep moving forward in the book every day of the month, and it's the same prayers you get in the breviary. So it's a great way to add something to your prayer life that allows you to join in with the Church Universal in praying for the needs of the church, for the good of all people who need someone to pray for them, and a terrific way to increase our spirituality. So I hope you get inspired to start praying the Liturgy of the Hours. Thanks a lot. God bless.